Hey guys, look what I just rolled in on a tow truck. A GM product, imagine that. Seriously guys, I get all sorts rolling in on a tow truck. I'm just having a dig at the GM boys. This is a really nice 68 Camaro. It's one that I've worked on and off for, oh gosh, a bunch of years now. And it arrived on a tow truck. It's not running worth a damn. I've never done anything on mechanical engine wise on this car, but the customer actually did it himself with a buddy of his, and they put a top end, Edelbrock top end kit on it, cam and the Holley Sniper EFI. And I've driven the car with the EFI on it and runs like a cut cat. It's actually quite a rapid little car and ran beautifully with the Sniper. And I know Sniper, you know, I admit, I've ragged on the Sniper in the past because it, it can be problematic. The good ones seem to go good, and this was one of them. Till today, or yesterday actually, he kind of dusted off the winter, cover, and wouldn't run. Just did not want to run, and yeah, got it towed in. So let me just start this up, and I'll give you a little listen to this. He parked it, was running fine, and now, yeah, not so much. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of, I'm sure you'll get it on the audio. Really doesn't want to start unless you give it quite a bit of throttle. Okay, it's not going to start at all. I did have it running, but what it was doing was running super rich. I think it's just kind of probably the spark plugs have gone. We've seen enough fuel for a couple of years and a couple of hours, and to the point where I'm not sure how well this will show up. I pulled it in the shop and just got it running. I had it running, kind of trying to clear it out, and you can see the black patch there on the ground. That's just the soot coming out the exhaust. It's just over fueling severely, and I did have it running. Don't want to start right now, but no point flogging well, not a dead horse, but a sick horse. Yeah. So I've had a quick look around it. All the ignition stuff's in order. It was running. It was a couple of times there it hit on 8 cylinders, but typically it was about half that. But yeah, when you not sure whether this will show up, but yeah, we need a bit more light in there. But you can actually see the fuel spraying in on these throttle body injections. You can see the fuel squirting in, and I did manage to get it running long enough to get a light and have a look down there, and man, it was just pumping fuel down there. So I'm going to dig in a little deeper. They have some issues with the it's a loop fuel system, so it has a fuel pressure regulator that bleeds off the excess pressure and runs it back to the tank. So they have a little bit of a reputation for blocking that up. So I'll set the camera up and we'll pop that apart and have a look, see if we've just got a fuel blockage. But rather than not having enough fuel pressure, I suspect we got way too much. So back in a second. So here's your throttle body. A bit more light on the matter now. Yeah, as soon as I put the camera in the way, you kind of right down the bottom there, you're just not going to pick it up, but right around the circumference of the throttle, the throttle holes, for want of a better word, there's little fine holes in there, and that's where the fuel enters. And yeah, that was spectacular how much fuel was going down there. Now what we've got to get off is this puppy here. This is the fuel pressure regulator. Fuel goes in the other side of the throttle body, comes across here into this side and then returns out. So we're gonna pull this apart and see if there's any clues as to what might be going on. Hang on guys. Okay, so we got the fuel line off, which is just bolt on A-end fitting, and there's 4 little wee screws, very small. Holley Loctite it in so they can be rather tight getting them out. I mean, I guess it's good they Loctited them, and you don't want them rattling loose and squirting fuel everywhere. Same time, it's got to be serviceable. I had to actually heat. I used a heat gun, not a flame, to heat the heck out. Like, I can't touch that at the moment. That is so hot. To get it out, to get that to let go, because it did not want to come undone. So, but we got there. We got there. Oh, nothing like working over a warm engine on a 90-degree Tennessee day. It's a little hot. Alright, so that's the cover. That's where your fuel goes out of. Heads back to the tank. Got a little O-ring here. And what I'll do is I'll try and poke the camera around the back so you can have a look. See it, and even hold the camera kind of on an angle here, but yeah, we've got to get that little puppy out. That's the diaphragm that controls the pressure. Find somewhere to put the camera back down. Whew. I'll be back in a second, guys. Okay, so it's there's no way I can get the camera in here, guys, and an option would be to take the throttle body off, but I'm just gonna use a little mirror and just pry this out. There we go. And that is your fuel pressure regulator, and it has a little wee screen on here. Now, to be fair, this is not really showing any signs of being blocked, so realistically this might be a dead end, but I am going to just pop this little plastic fitting off of here. You can probably get it off with your fingernails. So that just leaves you that little screen. Give that a little pop in the reverse direction with some brake cleaner. Just going to step away here. Okay, so that's that cleaned out. Now I guess this could also be bad, but that's kind of one of the first things to check. We're going to see if this makes a difference. I'm not convinced it will, but we will see. I'll be honest, I was hoping to thinking I'll find, yeah, there'll be a whole lot of junk in there. But no, it's got to get that to snap back into place. Just, you'll feel the O-ring start to slide in. Just kind of wiggle it in there. Put that little housing back on. So I'm going to get this back on. Yeah, need an O-ring, won't we? Of course, that would be a good idea. Pop our little O-ring back in here. Little so-and-so, just want to pop it. Be gentle with these, don't do them too tight. You'll never get them out again. Get the rain fitting back on. I'm just going to turn the key on and check for fuel leaks. I did turn the key on and flicked a little bit of fuel through it just to blow anything out of it that might have been in there, which the rag caught quite a lot of it, but there's also fuel laying on the ground here, so I'm just going to see if we got a fuel leak, and then I'm going to have some lunch and let that evaporate off. That's nice and dry. Okay. So yeah, lunchtime. Okay guys, so yeah, had lunch, had the afternoon, spent the afternoon trying to diagnose this thing. As I kind of thought, once we got that regulator out and that little screen, there really wasn't any trash in there, so that wasn't our problem, but it was, you know, one of the things we needed to tick off the list. So yeah, we spent the afternoon diagnosing, put a new O2 sensor in it. The handheld display was showing that it was like super lean, which clearly it wasn't, but that was because the O2 sensor was not picking up the fuel that was coming out. It was so carboned up, sooted up. So we put a new O2 sensor in it, so that which then was reading correctly, but we also had an issue with the map sensor. The map sensor was was reading like off the scale. So what we believed happened, you know, between, you know, I kind of did the phone a friend thing and spoke with Dr. Art. He kind of gave me a few things to check. Really just what was going on with the handheld screen. And so between him and Holley, what it really comes down to is the map sensors failed, which has made it run super rich, which has drowned the O2 sensor, so which killed it. So we had you know, two reasons why the little ECU in it, it was trying to give it more fuel than, you know, like a top fuel car. I'm exaggerating, but you get the picture. So yeah, what it comes down to now is we've got to pull this throttle body off, because that's where the ECU is on these, and pack that up, pack up the handheld, send it back into Holley. They're going to upgrade it to the Sniper 2, because this kit is actually about 8 years old. It was purchased in 2017, so it's kind of 7-8 years old. So and as I said to the owner, like you know, would you buy a 7 or 8 year old laptop? No, you wouldn't. So they said, Holley said they could repair this one or they can upgrade it. Now, to upgrade it to the Sniper 2 is really not too bad price wise, and you were going to have to pay to repair the old one anyway. So they put the Sniper 2 into the old body, and hopefully it'll run. But in the meantime, we've kind of got to sit on our hands for 3 weeks while they get that done, you know, in transit time and stuff like that. So yeah, this is kind of the end of part one on this car, really, because we've got to, let's say, take that off, which is not really exciting viewing for you guys. So you know, we'll wind the video up, we'll get that taken off, boxed up and sent back to Holley. And yeah, so we'll part two is going to be like 3-4 weeks time, and we'll go from there. Hopefully we can get this old girl running without him, the customer, missing out on too much of summer. So yeah, he's a little frustrated. You know, he put the Holley on there to try and make it more reliable, and it's not quite panned out that way. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Sniper 2 goes. They have made a lot of upgrades to it. You know, Holley, like anybody else in any other company, you know, you learn as you go, your products evolve. So yeah, fingers crossed it'll go even better. This was running good when it was running right, but it's now running wrong. So yeah, yeah. So really, that's about it. I'm going to dig into this, get it off, and I'll sign off from you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Take it easy, guys.